Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. This is Dream Another Day Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for whoever needs to hear it, okay? So please keep in mind these are collective readings, so just take them as they resonate and leave the rest for somebody else, okay? Also, please keep in mind that I use gender neutral language as much as possible on my channel in order to make readings more inclusive. So please just place yourself where you fit. If a specific gender does come out in the reading, I will go ahead and channel that message. But let's go ahead and get into this message here. We are going to start off with the Romance Oracle. I feel like the energy is interesting today. It's kind of like, so I had an interesting dream last night. Maybe I'll share a little bit about it. So I dreamt I was a part of a family that is not my family. I'll just put it that way. I was part of this family, and it was like we owned property, and we were trying to figure out and brainstorm ways to kind of like maintain or build our family wealth, our wealth as a family, which I thought was really interesting. And I got woken up by my father, my dream dad, right? Woke me up and said, it's under the house. We have to dig under the house. And of course I was like, are you okay? And he's like, I had a dream that it's underneath the house. We need to go down there. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, I believe in that sort of thing. I'm not going to tell you you're crazy. I was kind of like, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's dig under the house, right? So we had this like deep basement that was all like dirt floors, like a cellar. So we go down into the root cellar and we start digging into the dirt floor, and like pretty much immediately we start finding all these like huge crystals that had been sanded down, like they were like almost like if you've seen like a little worry stone. Well, they were like in this like oval shape, but there was like hundreds of thousands of them, like all just like, it was like they had dug out the floor, poured them all in there, and then covered it over. And it was like tons of them, and it was like they were beautiful, and it was like rose quartz, like just like all these incredible, like there's really beautiful crystals. And of course, me and my dream family were like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like, this is like buried treasure basically right underneath our feet, and we didn't even know it was here this whole time. And so we were like, well, we need to protect it. We need to excavate it, you know what I mean? And so I started coming up with plans of like what we do. Like, we need to get bends and tape and a Sharpie so we could like label each crystal, because they were just all mixed together, and like separate them out. And, you know, we might need to hire people to help us and like all this sort of thing. I was like, we need to get a lock for this door so that people can't get in here. And of course, lo and behold, there were people who were in our circle who found out about the crystals, and they like were trying to sneak in there, and they were trying to steal them. They were trying to take pictures of them so they could like brag about it on social media. Like, I'm not even kidding. And like put our family's wealth, this undiscovered wealth, at risk, right? So I was literally fighting these bitches like away from the root cellar. And so the energy that I'm picking up on is that it's like a lot of you guys might be like brainstorming on how to build your wealth, how to protect what it is you already have. How do I continue to elevate, right, financially? And this could be like, in my dream, it kind of felt like my ancestry, you know what I mean? So it could be that your ancestors are trying to give you signs and symbols and ideas or prompts, you know what I mean, to kind of like push you forward to find this, you know, hidden wealth or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's really interesting. But the thing is that there may be people who want to get in on that, you know what I mean? And you may have to protect it. And you know, it's really funny, guys. I'm just gonna say it, and I just think it's really interesting. And I'm hesitant to say it, but we'll just move on. Okay. New beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. Well, no wonder Spirit wanted me to pull from this deck first. Okay, so it's like, what I think the dream was also saying is that my like dream dad like had a dream about this wealth, and then when we believed him and we trusted him and we actually put in the effort to see if what he was dreaming was a reality, we saw that it was. Okay, so this new beginning card is saying embrace it and live your dreams passionately, right? A new adventure awaits. Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, so I guess we're gonna pull from this oracle deck as well, just to get going. Oh, by the way, if you're new to my channel, thank you for being here, and I hope that you will consider subscribing before you leave. And if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for being here. I do hope that you guys will like the video, drop me a comment, or share with someone you think might need to hear this message before you leave. Okay, so thank you, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We are deeply grateful. We know we couldn't do this without you. Would you please help guide the collective spirit for our highest good? Please bless us and protect us as we move forward into this reading. Okay, y'all. Really interesting. Really, really interesting. Okay, I just have to say that the people I was fighting off away from the crystals were all like older ladies. Which I think is just interesting. Whoa, hold up. On the back of the Sexual Magic Tarot, look at the shape of this. Look at the shape of all these crystals. That's literally the exact shape. They were like eggs, you know what I mean? But they're like flat oval eggs. That is so crazy, dude. Wow. I'm sorry, I just looked up at it and was like, excuse me. All right, Spirit. Yeah, it's really interesting. Some of you may have like a really big like spirit family and you don't even know it also. And they could potentially help guide you towards your wealth and abundance. Dude, I can't right now. I'm sorry, I need to drink my coffee. This card, y'all, I can't. Sleeping Beauty's dream. Look at this house. I'm telling you that when I dreamt that we had property and we had houses and it was like old school with like a dirt floor root cellar, that's literally exactly like the type of house that it was. Like this big, expansive, like multi-part kind of like estate. It was basically like an estate. Y'all, that's so crazy to me. And do you see like, okay, remember in Sleeping Beauty that there was that Felicity, right? That's her name. The I don't know if she was a stepmom or a real mom, but it doesn't matter. The older female character had like thorns and vines and stuff all around the castle, right? Where Sleeping Beauty was. That is so interesting. Spirit's saying keep going. Wow. My home is my castle. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to actually be kidding me right now. Wow. There's something about your home. There's something underneath your home. That's so weird. It's not weird, but it's like, I'm not saying go start digging a hole in your floor, okay? It's something else. It's symbolic. You have to dig deep. There's something about, look at this, Miss Sunshine on the bottom. deep down, you're like a very like happy, loving person. Oh my God, look. Whoa, dude. I'm so sorry. This reading is crazy right now. Look at this. The house, the castle is upside down. And Miss Sunshine is underneath the house. Bro, that's actually crazy. Wow. Y'all, I hope you understand how significant the synchronicity is right now. It's underneath the house. That is so crazy. It's you. The wealth is actually within you. It's deep down. It's underneath. Y'all, that's crazy to me right now. I'm sorry. I need to like... I don't think I've seen a synchronicity like this, like, maybe ever, but definitely I have, but like in a long time. Like, this is one of the first decks that I got recently when I was kind of like rebuilding my tarot decks. And I mean, the dream aspect of this, that it being underneath the house, because look, if you look, do you see this kind of like round, shiny object underneath, like at the bottom? You know what I mean? It's within you. Let's go deeper. Let's go deeper. That's crazy to me. I'm just like blown away by that. Okay, okay. And plus, because I haven't pulled from that oracle deck and never to start a reading. Look at that, the Empress. Empresses live in a castle. Queen of Cups, queens live in a castle. Y'all, that is so crazy right now. But I haven't pulled from that oracle deck in like quite some time. Okay, okay, there's more to this. There's more to this. But this is off to a great start, y'all. Maybe you buried it to protect it. It's like your ancestors buried it to protect it. Oh, shit. No, I'm getting a crazy message now. Your ancestors, because hear me out, you, wow, whoa, okay, because in the dream, it was the predecessors who owned the house who had buried the crystals, right? The treasure, we'll say. They had buried it in order to protect it, because as soon as it came out, everybody wanted it. And you had to literally fight people off to protect it once it was revealed. So it's like your ancestors buried this secret about the family so that people wouldn't steal it. What the fuck, bro? And it was like it came to your dad, right? Which could just be a predecessor, an ancestor, in their dream, in my dream, right? So like in your dream. Does that make sense? I know it sounds like it's starting to get convoluted. Spirit. Spirit's saying it's really quite simple. Your ancestors are giving you this message, okay? Through me, right? Because that's part of what I do. So your ancestors are giving you this message to let you know that you have this treasure buried within you that was hidden from the world in order to protect it. And therefore, through ancestral kind of like connections here, it's like you have buried it within yourself as well, because that was kind of the intention. The intention of your ancestors was to protect you, right? To protect anybody who came from your bloodline from what happens when people know what and who you really are. You know, you could be royalty. It's like you could have a gift. This Miss Sunshine energy of like, that's what's underneath the house is actually your gifts, your treasure, right? So it's like you're able to shine light on the darkness. And maybe you've experienced this, guys. I know I have. And like, look at that. Bro, I can't, dude. The Hermit right underneath the deck. What does the Hermit do? The Hermit shines light into the darkness. Guys, you're very special. You're very, very special. That is why you've been hidden from the world. That's why your gifts were buried. Wow. Because understand this, okay? And this is why I think things like this are so hard to understand, because it's like, well, why is that a bad thing? You know what I mean? Why would I want to hide that? You know, because the world is so dark and we need more people to shine their light and all that sort of thing, right? Because of the way that people respond to it, people sometimes respond very violently to it if they have a lot of darkness within them, because you shine light on their darkness. Does that make sense? And it's not like you shine it on them for them to see, right? Because they may not even see their own darkness. You just bring it out because you're shining that light on it. Does that make sense? So imagine you have an object, okay? Say you have a transparent object, right? Like a window, okay? Or a glass of water. Or you have like a dense object like a rock or a tree or something, right? This is just for instance. And then you shine light on either object. If you shine light through a window, it just passes right through. You know what I mean? You shine light through a glass of water, it just goes right through it. But if you shine light at a rock or a tree, it creates a shadow. Does that make sense? Because it's a dense object. So it's just like people, symbolically, that when you shine your light on people who are clear and transparent and honest, and they're not harboring or carrying any like heavy energy, dense energy, then your light they embrace it because it just passes through them. Does that make sense? It doesn't get hung up on anything that they're carrying. So they enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, that's refreshing. And, you know, oh, that, you know, it feels like very enlivening. Like it can get through to me, right? It touches my heart, you know? But for people who are carrying more dense energy, it comes up against them. You know what I mean? It creates tension, or it reveals the shadow. Does that make sense? Of the density. So that shadow could be aggression, anger, fear, you know, resentment, disgust, contempt, all those types of denser emotions, right? Not to say they're right or wrong. I'm just saying that under certain circumstances, those types of people who carry those denser emotions can be really dangerous for you to actually be yourself around, you know, because you reveal your light to them, and then it doesn't create the shadow, it reveals the density within them. You know what I mean? That light comes up against them, and then the shadow is revealed. Does that make sense? It doesn't create the shadow, it reveals the shadow. So that's why, because guys, like over the centuries, right? Okay. Perhaps even we could go back thousands of years. This is something that we have encountered, okay? This is something we have evidence of, you know, for instance, like the Salem witch trials, right? You have buried your gifts and who you are. Your ancestors buried them before you were even born, okay? To protect you, to protect anybody in the bloodline, because they knew that if people truly knew, and you were truly revealed, that you would reveal a lot of people's shadows, and it could put you in danger. Greed is part of it. So, for instance, in my dream, how you were, well, it's funny because I feel like this is for you, this is for my viewers, but this is like, but through me. Does that make sense? I'm starting to kind of piece together how this works a little bit more, because it's different doing this with like a wider audience online versus reading for an individual. It's much easier, and especially when my dreams are involved, it's kind of like, but I'm getting here in this message that that was a very significant dream, and that's why we're talking about it. So, okay, I think an important thing to recognize is that it's like I'm getting this message of like angels, okay, right? Gifted individuals walk among us, and many of them don't know they're gifted because they have buried their gifts in order to protect themselves, because early on they probably instinctively, subconsciously saw what happens when they shine their light. People get resentment, people, you know, or get resentful, aggressive, you know what I mean? And they get attacked, and so they're like, well, I better just hide that and keep my head down. So I'm saying just recognize that you're not alone, and that there's people who are just like you who, you know, are afraid to show who they really are. And they may actually take on this aggressive energy too, okay? So wow. Six of Wands in reverse and the Four of Pentacles. The first message I got when I looked at those cards was that you may actually be afraid of success. Whoa, dude, the symbolism here is crazy. So you might hold on to a much smaller, whoa, hold on a second. This is crazy because this doesn't appear in every card. No, that's crazy. Hold on. Okay, the symbolism here is like really packing a punch. So the Six of Wands represents success, okay, right? So you may be subconsciously afraid of success because you're afraid of what it brings, okay? The evil eyes that it brings, right? The resentment, people wanting what it is that you have, etc., right? Now look at this card. Do you see how you've got this little bird with the crown on, okay? I'm just saying, guys, this is crazy. With the crown, and look at all the little treasure in their nest, in their home, right? I'm just saying, like, okay, all the little treasure in their home, and then look at all these crows, big birds with the eyes on their wings flying around them, and you see the wands are above their head. They're like alert to that. That's kind of like, you know, they have wide eyes, they're alert to it. But you see how they're like royalty with all this treasure, and it's like, I'm just saying, look, even the tattoo on this person's wrist is like wreaths with a crown, you know? So it's almost like your ancestors have been protecting you from the kind of evil that's around, right? So it's like, and these are more like shadowy type like birds, you know what I'm saying? So like this is actually crazy, the symbolism in these two cards. So the fact that the Six of Wands is out in reverse, the Six of Wands also means public recognition. So it could be that you have shied away from the spotlight. You have really not wanted to share anything that you have, like share the fact that you have it, you know what I mean, with other people. So you could be very like protective, you know what I mean, of yourself and your space and your energy, right? And of what it is that you have going on. So you could be very secretive. And so the Six of Wands in reverse is saying that you're like, you don't want to share your successes with other people. You don't want to, you know, be open because you're afraid of what other, like the people's resentment and like the evil eye energy, right? So now check this out. The Four of Pentacles, you see how this person is like trying to like close up their little space, close up the curtains, and you look how on the inside, there's all this sunshine on the inside of the house, like all of the flowers and plants growing, and you know what I mean, like they have this little space inside, and they're like closing up the curtains, and they're using their pentacles as a way to like pin down the curtains in a way, like you can, like they're like constructing this like safe space for themselves. But But the Four of Pentacles is talking about holding on to what it is that you have because you're afraid of losing it. You know what I mean? It's the miser of the tarot, right? So being, you know, overly frugal and stingy and things like that, right? And then look behind them. You see this huge ass moth with these eyes on the wings peeking over the hill, right? So it's like you are trying to protect yourself from that type of energy. This hateful ass energy. That's so interesting because look at inside the nest, there's like a die, there's like a flower and a coin. You know what I mean? And on this side, it's like coins and flowers. You know what I mean? The work that you're doing with this shovel and the potted plants and stuff, it's like you're keeping it a secret, the work that you do. You know, the work that you are doing on yourself, on the inside, right? Or the gifts that you have, you know, because you're a very gifted person is what I'm getting here. Because you're trying to protect yourself. But here's the thing, is that it's also protecting you from success and it's protecting you from abundance. It's keeping you from being able to actually be fully who it is that you are because you're afraid of the onslaught, right? And like in my dream, I was literally fighting these women like away from the cellar, right? Where the treasure was. Because they were trying to get in there and they were trying to like, you know, expose it. And then it would have been like, oh, now more people know. And then, you know, those people are going to try and come here. And it was like, I just want to get a lock on the door and like, you know what I mean? Make it safe, only bring in people we trust to help us, you know, and stuff like that. So it was like, you know, it's very interesting how the symbolism in these cards is like confirming basically everything that I've said so far. Okay. All right, Spirit. Thank you. Switch decks. Okay. Wow, y'all. Please like the video if you like this reading because I can't even right now. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. So the downside to this, though, is the downside is that you feel repressed. You know what I mean? Or it was like in the dream, okay, for instance, right? It was like you needed some type of abundance to maintain your situation, basically. You know, the family was looking for brainstorming ways to create and generate more wealth in order to like save the estate, basically, or to continue to, you know what I mean, have like to be doing well. And it was like it came to them in a dream, was like, oh, you know what I mean? We need to do this. And then boom, there it was. So it's kind of like, so I feel like you're being inspired on something to do here. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Shit. Okay. Things are going to pick up fast. Things are going to pick up really quickly. Yeah. Wow. That's so interesting. But it's going to be like kind of like more for the long haul. Does that make sense? So you have the Four of Swords in reverse. The Four of Swords talks about resting, rejuvenation, healing, you know, kind of taking time away, right? And this is kind of like an interesting energy to come like through, because this is all about, you know, the Four of Wands or the Four of Swords. If you look at the Rider-Waite Tarot, they're like, you know, inside of a house, on a bed, you know what I mean? Like resting after like a battle or something, which is kind of the energy of like this hiding energy. And then boom, out the gate, Eight of Wands, a communication and action, fast moving communication and action. So it's like you come out of this hermit mode, right? Out of this resting, hiding energy. And it's all of a sudden you're like, boom, here I fucking am, bitches. Bitches, here I am. You know what I mean? You flip the house upside down and you reveal the treasure, okay? But it could definitely bring in some other energy. But look at this, Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. The Knight is the slowest moving Knight in the deck, but it's the most reliable, okay, and the most stable. So it could be something that's like worth waiting for, is what I'm hearing. Somebody or something that has been worth waiting for. Five of Wands, conflict, okay? So this is really telling about, this is almost like the step-by-step, like what happened in my dream almost, and like how there was conflict because these people wanted in on the action. They wanted in on what it was that you have. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Wow, because the Three of Pentacles is all about working together. So it's like something happens, boom, okay? Either you understand something about yourself, or you discover something, a hidden talent, or you finally reveal this talent to others. And then it's like all of a sudden, boom, you're out of this hiding mode. There's fast moving action, communication, and then boom, here comes the conflict, because these are people who, are resentful of you in some way, maybe people that you used to work with, right? And this could be in relationship, et cetera, et cetera. So, okay, Spirit, the Hierophant. This is like divinely ordained, is what I just heard. Divinely ordained, meaning that like this is meant to happen. This is just the unfortunate byproduct. The Five of Wands is the unfortunate byproduct, okay? So you're getting a little bit of a heads up here with this whole like shadow revealing thing. But again, remember this, new beginning, a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately, okay? This is what you're being called upon to do. You're being called upon to come out of the shadows and to reveal yourself, because here's the thing, is that it is preventing you from being successful. It's preventing you from being recognized for who and what you really are. And you're playing yourself small. You're playing it small, big time. Now, Spirit's saying it's time for you to come out from underneath that. Wow, and the moon in reverse at the bottom of the deck. This is talking about revealing hidden, subconscious, buried, if you will, things, okay, with the moon in reverse, and coming out of a place of fear and illusion. Whoa, okay, this is crazy. This is honestly crazy. So, okay, Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Swords. The Five of Pentacles represents being left out in the cold, poverty, right? And it's coming out in the reverse with the Ace of Swords. It's like this clarity, okay? Truth. Truth like clears away these feelings of inadequacy, these feelings of being powerless, right? It's divinely ordained that this take place. Nine of Cups in reverse is talking about dissatisfaction and a lack of emotional harmony and happiness, okay, because you're not living your truth. So it's like wow, you're just realizing like, okay. Some of y'all might be very domestically inclined, I'm getting, with the my home is my castle thing. You may actually be very talented at, I'm just getting this, you might be really talented at like creating spaces that feel good. You might be really good at interior design, or like, I'm even getting like home remodeling, DIY, like, because we're seeing, and gardening, like we're seeing this, the shovel, I'm seeing like this home is like overran by, vines and things, and it looks a little run down, and, but then you have this my home is my castle thing, and it's like, look at how beautiful, like this castle, and it's almost like you create spaces that feel really harmonious and really good, and you're very inclined in that way. That could be a hidden talent that you're not really sharing with others, that you may actually end up being able to capitalize on. Okay, that's just how to put it out there. All right, thank you, Spirit. Because you're discovering these things that are buried within you. Miss Sunshine, wow. Some of y'all maybe have been like this for a long time. Judgment in reverse. People have misjudged you in the past. Look at that. Justice. This is your divine justice, guys. This is your divine justice, because you have been treated unfairly. This is like the karmic balancing of the scales here. Yeah, you deserve to live in your truth, okay? And embrace this and reveal who you really are. If it makes people uncomfortable, it makes people angry, it makes them combative, then so fucking be it. So be it. You have the power to protect yourself and to fight that shit off, okay? Five of Wands is about, people trying to compete with you, But the thing about the Five of Wands is also that, it's training, you know what I mean? So it's training for the battle. So it's okay for you to reveal yourself. Wow, I'm just seeing all these cards in the deck. It's okay for you to reveal yourself, is what I'm getting. Okay, so Spirit wants me to leave this here. Wow, what a reading, guys. I really hope that you appreciate it. It's a little bit longer than usual, but I really, I'm really feeling this message, like, okay. Wow, thanks so much for being here, guys. Please remember to hit the buttons and let me know how you like the reading, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.